This broadcast is brought to you by Logitech G, Motorsport Australia, Play Seat, The Gamesman, OG Gear, SimSpeed TV, Speed Cafe, and the Australian Sim Racing Group.
It's motorsport, but not as you know it. Test yourself and your everyday road car. Safe, affordable, but most of all, fun. And all you need is your daily driver. Experience the thrill of a sprint day. Race against the clock at a hill climb. Or test your reflexes with an auto test. It takes just 3 simple steps to get started. Get on the start line. Search Motorsport Australia Daily Driver today.
Six rounds down, and it means we are now 6 rounds to go. And it also is coming up quick on endurance season here in the 2024 edition of Logitech G Pro Invitational, but we have ourselves one more solo driver race to get through tonight here at the Temple of Speed before we can start talking about endurance racing in these V8 touring cars. And Monza will be that place where we do the racing action here tonight for round number 7 in 2024. My name's Danny Ammon, joining the commentary team once again here for tonight, filling in for Scott Rankin. Unfortunately, not able to be here with us this evening, but joining Stephen Sandman Clark here in the commentary box with Jay Kennedy on production as always. And Sandman, starting to see it a little bit now, so I can see on the side of my screen in practice as drivers are working things out here with some practice qualifying runs. But it's going to be a fast track. Qualifying is going to be super important, but also figuring out where drivers are going to get themselves in line for qualifying tonight. And now getting into the busy half of the season with halfway there, halfway to go.
Absolutely, and how quick is that stuck, Robinson? And welcome, Dan. Good to have you along, buddy, and welcome to anyone who's tuning in wherever you are around Australia, around the world. Absolutely cracking race tonight at Monza. I mean, we're looking at people that are going to be wanting drafting buddies, because that thing is crucial around here. There's so many fast straights as far as opportunities to make up that free time behind someone. So if you can have a drafting buddy, a teammate, someone that you work well with, it can really benefit you, especially in qualifying, which is coming up not too far away.
Yeah, expect obviously our bigger teams tonight to probably be putting drivers a little bit further up the order than they might be usually seen in other circuits where getting clean air is more important. So that will be one to watch out for. And as you said, yeah, for those who maybe don't have strong alliances or teammates by numbers here tonight, it's going to be probably a little rough for them once we get underway. But we're up in the north of Italy, just shy of Milan and the Alps there, but to home of the Italian Grand Prix. And so much racing history over the years, still having that classic oval there as well. But of course, Grand Prix configuration, we skip completely past that tonight and focus on the 5.8 kilometers of speed that has been only very lightly refined over the years here, Sandman.
Yeah, terrific racetrack, and it's always really turned it on, no matter what category we're racing. But we're lucky to have our supercar series here. Great racetrack, as everyone will be well aware, and you see it on the Formula One series. It's got so much history, and yeah, it'd be nice to see it on the banks of that part of the racetrack one day, but not today. We're on the Grand Prix circuit, and what a show it's going to be tonight.
11 turns in this clockwise configuration. Of course, the Rettifilio chicane, the Variante della Roggia, of course, our two big braking positions there at the start of lap, then maintaining the momentum up through to Lesmos, try and get settled over the curves at Ascari, and then one final long corner there with the curve of Parabolica at the final part of the lap before they power on down. And we're looking forward to seeing some high speeds once they cross that start-finish line once again on the front stretch of this circuit. Currently in the closing minutes of practice, so it'll be not too long before we get qualifying underway here tonight. But speaking of what to see in this race, it'll be 48 laps around this place, and multiply that out by the track length, we're looking at just over 278 kilometers of racing coming our way. As always, 2 compulsory pit stops will be required anytime, well, not anytime, but if we don't get a safety car on lap 1 after the end of lap 2 until the end of the penultimate lap. But in saying that, yeah, we'll have to see how drivers choose to play out. Looking at some fuel numbers I was able to get beforehand real quick, Sandman, we're looking at needing around 205 to 215 litres of fuel from start to finish tonight. So they will only need about 1 full tank's worth over the course, and you can split it over the course of 2 stops as well. So that's plenty of strategic options, and that will be one to watch out for. As we also take a note here of the championship standings, which after some of the craziness of the opening round, starting to stabilise, but it is tight at the top.
Yeah, there's been some shuffling over the last couple of weeks. It's actually been quite interesting just to see how much it's fluctuated, with some names up the top, and then, I guess we come to expect with the names of Jared Filsell and Madison Down always at the top, but they haven't had it all their way this year, and that's actually been good. It's tough for them as far as the way their season's playing out, but for us as spectators and seeing that board jumbled up, I think it's something really good. But they're now starting to put their foot down as far as, we're approaching the halfway mark of the season, and then we've got Enduros coming up. That could impact the points championship as well. So really interesting to see how it changes tonight, but especially over the next couple of weeks with Enduros.
Yeah, the 3 endurance races which come up after this will be obviously a huge opportunity to make or break a season here tonight. And for those drivers area that we saw in the top 10 list, this will be also critical for stabilising the situation for the guys at the very front. And for those in the back half of the 10, maybe go for a slightly stronger position than it currently is. So you can see there now less than 5 minutes left in practice as the drivers definitely getting into some bunches here and some qualifying simulations of sorts happening. But whilst they're out there, it is a very, very hot Monza, virtually speaking today. 30 degrees Celsius air temperature. There's not a lot left in terms of how hot you can go there. And as a result, that asphalt temperature of over 50 degrees Celsius is going to be a tyre fryer, to say the least.
Absolutely. The teams will be all over that, and it'll be raising a few eyebrows because ideally everyone wants, a little bit of a cooler track temperature, but here's what it is, and it's the same for everyone. And as we see a few of these guys just get a bit of line formation here, it is a bit of a fine art to go fast and draft along at the same time. You want to give yourself that little bit of a gap, but you don't want to get too close where the car in front, is a bit of a